Have you ever stopped to ask yourself, how much do people really need to know about you? Could the things you're sharing today become the reasons you're targeted tomorrow? And are you unknowingly putting yourself or your loved ones at risk with every post, every comment, every harmless update? If those questions made you pause even for a second, then you're exactly where you need to be. Because today, we're diving into a powerful truth rooted in Stoic philosophy. What you choose not to say may be the most powerful decision you ever make. Before we begin, if you believe in mastering your mind, protecting your peace, and living with purpose, then subscribe to this channel right now. We're building a community of thinkers, doers, and protectors, people like you who want to live wiser, not just louder. Why silence can save you. In a world obsessed with sharing, posting, and oversharing, silence has become a rare and underestimated strength. The ancient Stoics believed in discretion, self-control, and speaking only when necessary. But today, we spill our lives onto screens without a second thought. And that's not just unwise, it can be dangerous. Let's explore 5 secrets you must keep to yourself, not out of fear, but out of wisdom. Because in the age of information, what you keep private can be your greatest protection. 1. Your financial status. Silence is security. It starts small. A photo of your new car, a tweet about your promotion, a story celebrating your latest investment. In the beginning, it feels innocent. You've worked hard, you've sacrificed, hustled, and finally achieved a milestone. Naturally, you want to share it. It's human to crave recognition. But there's a quiet risk hidden in the applause. The moment you broadcast your financial wins, you open yourself to a world of scrutiny, some admiring, others calculating. What looks like pride to you may appear as provocation to someone else. That stranger liking your photo might also be noting your wealth. That old friend commenting, "And you've made it," could be someone silently measuring what they can extract from your success. The Stoic philosophers often emphasized discretion. They believed that true success doesn't need a spotlight. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor with immense power, reminded himself daily to stay humble and grounded. His writings suggest that what truly matters isn't what others see, but how you carry yourself when no one is watching. When you show off wealth, you may not just be inviting envy, you might also be attracting danger. Scammers prey on those who seem prosperous. Opportunists pose as friends to get closer to your resources. Even innocent acquaintances can unintentionally spread word of your success to the wrong ears. Keeping financial achievements private isn't about living in fear, it's about choosing control. You control the narrative, the perception, the risk. You can still celebrate your wins, but do it quietly, with trusted people who value you beyond your bank account. A Stoic would advise you to let your success be evident in your discipline, not your display. Drive the car that suits your needs, not one that inflates your ego. Invest wisely, not publicly. Choose privacy over applause. Because once you start craving recognition for your wealth, you risk becoming dependent on external validation, and that's the opposite of Stoic strength. In a world obsessed with status, silence becomes a form of security. When no one knows what you have, no one knows what to target. When your wealth isn't broadcast, you stay agile, safe, and at peace. Let your actions and attitudes speak louder than your dollar signs. The richest individuals don't always live loudly, they live wisely. 2. Your whereabouts. Don't hand over the blueprint. You post your vacation in real time, the airport selfie, the beachside cocktail, the stunning view from your hotel balcony. It feels harmless, even fun. You're just sharing a moment. But in doing so, you've done more than that. You've just revealed a crucial detail to the world. You're not home. Every location tag, every story from abroad, every post dripping with excitement creates a trail, one that burglars, stalkers, or opportunists can follow with ease. You wouldn't put a sign on your door that says, "Nobody's home for the next 5 days." Yet that's essentially what real-time posting does. In today's hyper-connected world, people forget that information is power, and oversharing is vulnerability disguised as confidence. The people who truly wish you well will still appreciate your travel stories after the fact. The danger lies in turning your present moment into a public broadcast. Privacy is no longer the default. It's something we must actively protect. Your digital trail is like a blueprint, revealing where you are, where you've been, and when you're gone. For those with ill intentions, it's more than enough to make a move. Marcus Aurelius said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." What if your thoughts were centered not on validation, but on protection? Not on display, but on discretion? What if you viewed each post as a window, open to everyone, including those you'd never willingly let in? Delaying your posts, saving your stories, and resisting the urge to tag locations in real time is more than wise. It's necessary. Share the experience once it's over. Relive the memories when you're back in your safe space. Let the journey remain sacred before it becomes content. This practice isn't rooted in paranoia, but in prudence. Stoicism encourages rationality. It teaches us to be prepared, not panicked. It reminds us that every action should be guided by wisdom, not impulse. By keeping your whereabouts private, you regain control over your own safety. You protect not just your possessions, but your peace of mind. And in the end, that peace is far more valuable than likes or views. 3. Your security systems don't show your hand. So you've just installed the latest home security system, motion detectors, high-resolution cameras, a smart alarm app on your phone. You're proud of your vigilance, understandable, but now you're tempted to share it. Maybe a post boasting about your setup or a comment during a casual conversation that nothing ever happens in your neighborhood. Here's the problem. Whether you're showing off your strengths or underestimating your risks, you're revealing your hand. And in the game of safety, that's never a smart move. Criminals adapt. They're observant. When you post about your camera placement or share photos of your front porch, you're giving them insights, where the cameras are, how many you have, or worse, how confident you are. And if you imply that your neighborhood is safe, you might be signaling that your guard is down. In Stoic thought, one of the core principles is inner fortification, a resilient mind that guards itself against external chaos. The same principle applies to your physical domain. Your home should be your fortress, not a spectacle, not a stage. Its defenses should be silent, unseen, and effective. Boasting about your security makes it a target. Underestimating threats makes you vulnerable. In both cases, the wisest path is silence. Even seemingly harmless conversations can offer more information than you intend. A neighbor overhears you saying you leave your back door unlocked just while you're in the garden. A delivery person catches a glimpse of your garage code on a sticky note. These small slips create opportunities. Stoicism teaches us to expect adversity, not ignore it, to plan for the worst, even while hoping for the best. It's not about fear, it's about preparation. You don't advertise your defenses because true strength doesn't seek validation. It simply functions. Your security setup, like your inner resolve, should be discreet yet unshakable. Let it do its job in silence. You don't need to prove how safe you are to anyone but yourself. In the end, safety isn't about showing off what you have. It's about quietly knowing you've done what's necessary to protect what matters most. 4. Your weaknesses. They're not for everyone. We live in a world that increasingly champions openness. The call to be vulnerable is everywhere. from social media influencers sharing their darkest days, to corporate leaders encouraging employees to bring their whole selves to work. And it's true, vulnerability in the right space can be profoundly healing. It can create intimacy, build trust, and even forge community. But here's the hard truth. Not everyone deserves access to your inner world. Not every audience is safe. There's a difference between being open and being exposed. Sharing your fears, traumas, or family dysfunction with people who haven't earned your trust isn't brave. It's risky. And in some cases, it's dangerous. When you let the wrong person see where you're broken, you give them a blueprint to control, hurt, or manipulate you. This isn't paranoia, it's prudence. The Stoics knew this well. While they never advocated for emotional repression, they also didn't believe in public emotional dumping. To them, self-mastery meant filtering your expression, not bottling it. Seneca once wrote, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." And often, when we speak too freely about our struggles, we reinforce the narrative of powerlessness within ourselves and in the eyes of others. Instead, Stoicism teaches you to process inwardly first. Before seeking sympathy, seek understanding. Before broadcasting your pain, reflect on its roots. This isn't about hiding who you are, it's about choosing where to grow. A garden doesn't bloom in a storm. It needs protection, privacy, and care. Likewise, your healing process needs safe boundaries. Now, that doesn't mean you should isolate yourself. We all need someone. But there's a difference between a confidant and a crowd. Therapy, for example, is a sacred space for exploring your internal world. It's designed for processing pain without judgment. But airing your trauma on social media, that's not healing, it's performance. And sometimes it turns your deepest wounds into content for people who will scroll past, gossip about, or even weaponize what you've shared. It's also worth noting that when you share your weaknesses too publicly, people start to define you by them. You might be a strong, resilient individual who just happens to be struggling, but that's not what others will remember. They'll remember the tears, the breakdown, the confession. And unfortunately, not everyone will respond with empathy. Some will see an opportunity. In professional environments especially, oversharing can backfire. Vulnerability may be trendy, but in high-stakes situations, people still make judgments based on composure, confidence, and perceived stability. When you disclose too much about your anxiety, your family issues, or your insecurities, it can influence how others assess your capability, even if unfairly. This doesn't mean you should fake strength. It means you should cultivate it. Real strength isn't loud. It's not in the dramatic social media post or the tearful voice memo. It's quiet. It's in the decision to process your emotions maturely. It's in the choice to speak to a trusted friend instead of the internet. It's in the discipline to reflect, journal, meditate, and yes, even cry alone sometimes. So before you open up to the world, pause. Ask yourself, is this a moment for therapy or for the timeline? Will this sharing help me heal or just help me be seen? Vulnerability is not weakness, but misdirected vulnerability is. It's like walking into battle without armor, hoping the enemy will be kind. The Stoics didn't deny that life is hard. They faced death, exile, betrayal, and poverty, but they trained themselves to carry their pain with dignity. They didn't look to the crowd for comfort. They looked inward for strength. And they emerged, not bitter, but better. Be careful who you hand your pain to. It's not about hiding your scars, it's about protecting your progress. Because your weaknesses, they're not for everyone. And that's not selfish, that's wise. 5. Your identity. It's easier to steal than you think. In a digital age where oversharing has become the norm, the line between private and public is blurred beyond recognition. We share photos of our meals, our vacations, our dogs, and even our children without much thought. But in this flood of information, there's a silent danger lurking: identity theft. And the truth is, it's easier than you think. Many people assume that as long as they don't post their social security number or banking information online, they're safe. But hackers don't need all the answers, they just need the pieces. And those pieces, you're probably giving them away for free. That cute photo of your dog with the caption, "My Little Max," that's one common password clue. The throwback post from your high school days, there's your security question. Your favorite movie shared during a Facebook challenge. Another puzzle piece. Cyber criminals are masters at collecting these digital breadcrumbs. They don't need to hack into your system with brute force, they simply study your public behavior. They build a profile from your posts, your likes, your comments, and even the way you talk online. Slowly, silently, they gather enough information to impersonate you, reset your passwords, or open new accounts in your name. This isn't a sci-fi thriller, it's reality. According to cybersecurity experts, identity theft has skyrocketed in recent years, with millions of victims each year losing their money, credit, and peace of mind. And in many cases, the theft didn't start with a data breach. It started with an overshare. Your digital identity is like a fingerprint. It's unique, permanent, and incredibly valuable. But while most of us wouldn't leave our house keys on the sidewalk, we routinely leave our personal information in the open. The cost? Sometimes financial, sometimes reputational, always painful. But the consequences go beyond money. When your identity is stolen, it's not just about the inconvenience of changing passwords. It's about losing control over how you appear to the world. It's about someone else pretending to be you, making decisions, sending messages, and creating chaos under your name. That's a violation far deeper than a stolen wallet. It's a stolen self. So what can you do? First, recognize that your online presence is not entertainment. It's a mirror of your real life, and that mirror is visible to everyone, including people who mean you harm. Be intentional about what you post. Ask yourself, does this need to be shared? Who might see it? Could this be used against me? Use strong, unique passwords that aren't based on personal information. Set up two-factor authentication. Don't participate in those fun quizzes that ask for your birth month, favorite color, or childhood nickname. They're often data mining traps in disguise. Most importantly, remember this: your identity is part of your legacy. It's not a toy. It's not a trend. It's the digital reflection of who you are, and it deserves protection. Don't treat it lightly just because you're behind a screen. In Stoic terms, identity is rooted in virtue, not visibility. It's about who you are, not what you post. The more you guard your integrity, both online and off, the more resilient your true self becomes. You don't need the validation of strangers. You need the confidence that comes from living with intention. So next time you go to share a seemingly innocent detail, pause. Think like a Stoic. Be disciplined, be vigilant, and above all, be wise. Because your identity, it's easier to steal than you think, but it's also yours to protect. Be wise, be silent, be Stoic. In the end, this isn't about living in fear. It's about living with wisdom. Stoic philosophy teaches us that what you control is internal. Your thoughts, your choices, your boundaries, and what you protect is up to you. So the next time you feel the urge to share something personal, pause. Ask yourself, does this need to be said to this person in this way? Sometimes silence isn't just golden, it's life-saving. If you found this video helpful, subscribe now and join our journey to become more thoughtful, more powerful, and more resilient together. Stay silent, stay strong, and stay stoic.